in 75, there was a program in Reddy Hostel, which is near Abbots. I don't know if you know this, Reddy. Right, Reddy Hostel near the college, right. So there, Prabhupada, 10,000 people came. There was no TV. TV was Bombay, Chennai, Calcutta, Delhi. There was no TV in Hyderabad. So Prabhupada requested the crowd, please don't give up your culture. I remember hearing that. So Prabhupada wanted Indian culture in India to be preserved. And here, if you see the pictures of Prabhupada and his disciples, all of the disciples are wearing dhotis and saris. Now you're not wearing saris. His wife doesn't wear a sari also. My wife wears a sari. My granddaughter, when she was in India, every day was wearing. And in Bengal, the girls were all wearing saris. I think everywhere. So, Indian culture, what does it mean? Language is culture. So, Sanskritam means culture. Susamskrit, very cultured. Samskrita annam, rice with ghee. Samskrita annam. So everything, culture was there. How to eat, how to get up, first take a bath. You know, here in this country, people don't take a bath every day. Many people do, but many don't. Yeah, Hindus mostly because the culture. So that's an ancient culture, Varnashram Dharma. That Varnashram Dharma, this is Kali Yuga. People gave up Varnashram Dharma. Prabhupada propagated Varnashram, Daiva Varnashram. Our Prabhuji's Guruji, Bhakti Raghava Maharaj, started this ISKCON Daiva Varnashram ministry in India. But the whole world didn't adopt it, ISKCON management. They didn't adopt it. But Prabhupada, in his teachings, in his books, in his purports, he wrote that everyone has to adopt Varnashram Dharma. So generally people think Varnashram is only Janma, and it is Janma. That is there. We don't say it is not there. Janma is there, but Janma is not everything. And now people gave it up, so who is following? So the philosophical concept is more important to have a proper functioning of the Varnashram Dharma. And in the West, nobody follows Varnashram Dharma. So then how to teach it? People have to be trained. Training is required. Unfortunately, you know, there's a Western concept of education has become popular. It's being accepted in India, what to speak of all over the world. Western concepts, even if China says we're communist, but they all wear suits and ties. Why? It's not Chinese culture. So the culture of England seems to have conquered the world. But what is this culture of England? Killing cows, not protecting cows. We can see that the cow is alive, just like we are alive. Cow is giving milk, so it's considered the mother. Go Mata. Vande Go Mataram, they say. Vande Mataram, Vande Go Mataram. How can they kill the cows? But they're killing every day in this country thousands of cows, and it's like drinking a glass of water. So those people are called Malechas and Yavanas. They have no culture. Samskriti hinaha janaha. And it's tamasic, the mode of ignorance, tamogun. To kill a cow, very sinful. But the people don't believe. There is no, you know, now people say, well, vegetarians are harming the vegetables. But you have to eat something. Food grains, when they're in the field, they die naturally. Then they're harvested. So how to change it? It's not easy. Not easy. 50 years ago when Prabhupada was here, there weren't Indians in this country. Few. They were there, no doubt, but very few. Now there are so many. But they didn't come here to spread the culture. Prabhupada said, when Prabhupada arrived in New York City in 1965, so he met one Swamiji, so-called Swamiji. And that Swamiji told him, why are you wearing this dress? Why don't you eat meat? You're in America now. So Prabhupada said, no, I haven't come here to adopt this culture, but to teach Vedic culture. So Go Raksha is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Krishi, Go Raksha, Vanijam, Vaishya Karma, Swabhavajam. But Go Raksha has been practiced in India since time immemorial. I think that King Dilipa, you've heard of Dilip Maharaj. So in Srimad Bhagavata Mahapuranam, Bhagavatam, the story of Dilip, to protect the cows, he used to sleep in the Goshala. He was a Raja, but he would sleep, and once a tiger came. Tiger's food is other animals. So he fought with the tiger barehanded and killed the tiger. So to protect the cows, he did that. He was a Go Rakshak. He was a Go Rakshak. So Prabhuji started this small endeavor to protect a few cows. You know, on these hills behind this, there are cows grazing. They're sold for slaughter. It's very sad. They're also alive. Now some people say they're not cows, and Gavaha Gavayaha. They say like in Sanskritam, Gardabaha, donkey. And Ashwataraha, a mule. Ashwaha, a horse. There are horses, by the way, opposite this property. Beautiful horses. I saw one time only, they're stalls for the horses. So Ashwaha, but then Ashwaha can mix with the donkey, Gardabaha, and that is called the Ashwataraha. So you heard Shwet Ashwatara Upanishad, the white donkey Upanishad. Because the donkey is between mule, white mule Upanishad. Mule is a cross between a donkey and a horse. So yeah, the donkeys used to be used in India for transporting building materials and other heavy lifting. Now it's tractors, and all these machines have killed the animals indirectly because the use of the animals was taken away. Now there are bulls here. Those bulls should be put to use. But how will you put them to use? Plowing and cart pulling carts. You know, when Prabhupada Maharaj passed away, it was November 77, I was in Hyderabad. We got a telegram, Prabhupada has passed away. 4 of us got in an ambassador car and drove from Hyderabad to Vrindavan, 30 hours. And we drove all night, and we saw hundreds of bullock carts on the road. And the people would go to sleep, and the cart would be moving slowly to the market with the cotton. Maharashtra, a big cotton area, and we had to drive, from Hyderabad. You have to go to Chandrapur in Maharashtra, Adilabad and Chandrapur, and then Madhya Pradesh, and then Mathura, Gwalior, Vrindavan. I took a train from Ajmer to Kachiguda in Hyderabad, meter gauge, in 1977. And this was before Prabhupada passed away. And stopping every station, 52 hours. And all the villagers had cloth on their head. Fancy. This is very simple. But they had very fancy. So that culture, dhotis, saris, to protect yourself, there were no machines, there were no tractors, there were bullock carts and bulls. Still people plowing with bulls in India. When Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister of India, she went to an energy conference in Nairobi. And she said, we have the power of bulls. Because that's how India did, agriculture was with bulls. In 1974, when I first came to India, 400 Western devotees came, first time, big. What happened, every year, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Janma is Holy Purnima. And that in Mayapur, West Bengal, is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada was Bengali, and we are a Bengali Sampradaya, Gaudiya Vaishnav. So he told everybody to come for this Holy Purnima, Gaur Purnima we call it, birthday and birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So 400 devotees came, and after a week we all went to Vrindavan. Then in Vrindavan, Prabhupada made a surprising announcement. You all have 200, half, he split the group, 400. 200 go back to Mayapur and learn Varnashram. So how do you learn Varnashram? Simple village type of activities. I think in this prayer, Bhakti Raghava Maharaj mentioned, we want to live a simple village life. Prabhupada had started a new Vrindavan in West Virginia. I don't know if any of you went there. Only one, two. So he told, there was a movie made in 1974. 75, I'm sorry. 76, I showed that movie to Prabhupada, but he had seen it once before. So that was about New Vrindavan. It was called The Spiritual Frontier. And you can still see that movie on YouTube, The Spiritual Frontier. So in that movie, the head of New Vrindavan, he was saying, Prabhupada taught us, this Marwari family gave Prabhupada 565 acres of land. Unfortunately, after Prabhupada passed away, they grabbed most of it, and ISKCON has 50 acres. Medchil, you've heard of Medchil? Yeah. So Medchil is almost in Hyderabad now. It's gone all the way to Medchil. So there was a big, and Prabhupada had the desire that these farm communities should come up and they should succeed. But it's difficult. It's difficult to live. If you're grown up in a city and you have all these urban conveniences, how to give them up and go back to live on a farm and take care of cows. Taking care of these cows even if you have one cow. Prabhupada used to say every family had one cow. But cow means if you want milk, you have to have a calf. And when you have a calf, the calf gets bigger and the milk stops, then you need another calf. And so like that, there are castes in India, right, that look after cows. The cowherd caste. So we are in Baroda in Gujarat. Gujarat has a caste called the Barwad. Barwad looks after cows. You don't see the Barwad looking after buffaloes. But there's another caste, the Rabari. They look after cows, buffaloes, goats. In Puranas, the story of Lord Krishna, his father was Nanda Baba. You've heard of that. But Nanda Baba had brothers, Abhinanda, Upananda, and it's described that they had buffaloes, they had goats, they had sheep. Were the goats kept for killing? We don't think so. Aye, Dr. Saab. Is it okay to sit like this? Or do you need a chair? You need a chair? So, no, it's okay. He's okay. So, where was I? Nanda Baba. So they didn't keep the goats for killing the goats. In fact, they make these chadars in Kashmir, Pashmina, you've heard of that, from the hairs of the goat, not the sheep. They're goat hairs, special goats. So, protecting animals, when we say Go Raksha, usually we mean the cow. And Prabhupada said the cow is the most important of all the animals. And we're opposed to killing any animals. But, yeah, that's a good idea. Can you use my camera also? Because nobody's taking my picture here. Oh, its recording is going on. All right, I'll get some pictures from you. So, yeah, all animals should be protected, but from time immemorial, there are low-class people. Now, low class is by behavior, not by janma. But, if you're born in like we were born in non-veg families, so our parents fed us that food. We realized later on that it's wrong, and we gave it up. So, but according to Vedic culture, there should not be a slaughterhouse. If a low-class man wants to eat meat, he can kill chickens and goats and pigs. And Kshatriyas used to hunt in the forest. But Brahmins and Vaishyas, and in many of the other Shudra castes, at least in Gujarat, there are many castes, in Rajasthan and Gujarat, they won't eat non-veg food. But there are communities, like in Surat, there's a community, they call themselves Khatri. Supposedly Kshatriyas, but they eat fish. In Bengal and Orissa, everybody eats fish. But Prabhupada was Bengali, and his family was from birth, totally veg, no onion and no garlic. So these things are tamasic according to Gita, right? Yata yama gatharasam puti paruyushitam chayat. That food that is deteriorating, flesh, and that was cooked before 3 hours is tamasic. In other words, you're supposed to eat freshly cooked vegetables, grains, milk products, the cow. We have this prayer, the cow giving life through milk, because through milk you get dahi, you get makan and ghee. Ghee is most important. So this type of a vision Prabhupada Maharaj had. Now, to bring it into reality is a great challenge. It's very difficult. I agree. Some people are trying. I think in Andhra Pradesh there's a ISKCON devotees, but it's independent project near Srikakulam. Kurma Grama. You've heard of this? Kurma Gramam. So there in Gujarat they also have Nanda Grama. So some devotees are trying on their own what to do. Prabhupada had given the order. There are many spiritual gurus in India. Nobody can say no. And according to our Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan, he was a great scholar and he made a commentary on Vedanta Sutras called Govinda Bhashya. And he wrote another book, Prameya Ratnavali, and he quoted that there are 4 Vaishnav Sampradayas. We are not the only game in town, as the saying goes. There's the Ramanuja Sampradaya. We're in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. There's the Vishnu Swami, which we only see the Vallabh Sampradaya. And then there's the Nimbark Sampradaya, which is mostly in North India. In South, you don't hear of it. Even the Gaudiya Sampradaya was only in Bengal and Orissa. Then it spread to Manipur. I saw in Manipur, even a woman selling fish has a Gaudiya Vaishnav Tilak. I went to Imphal 4 times, and there's a huge market in the middle. Imphal is like, going into the past. If you ever get a chance, go on Kartik Purnima. I was there on Kartik Purnima 2010. And that's when they have first they have 2 hours of these mridangas. They're made of wood, actually. They're not made of clay like the Bengal mridanga. And they have this 2-hour dancing mridanga. And then after that, the ladies dance this Manipuri dress. You might have seen the pictures. They perform outside of Manipur, but there's a Radha Govinda temple in Imphal that was started by Raja Manik Chandra 350 years ago. So his guru was a disciple of Narottam Das Thakur, who's one of our acharyas. And he made the whole Manipur Gaudiya Vaishnav. So they have this Radha Govinda on Kartik Purnima. 75 ladies put that. It's very difficult to wear that dress. And they dance all night. We left at like 11:30 in the night, but it goes on. We saw that performance. It's fascinating. It's really worth seeing. The Ras Leela dance. They're recreating the Ras Leela. Beautiful. So that kind of village life, we had a Guru Bhai who was Manipuri. And he came here and did a PhD in chemistry at the University of California. Irvine is near San Diego, right? And he met Prabhupada. This is in 1971. And he also passed away in 2006. But he was 68, which is younger than I am today. But he suddenly had a heart attack in Calcutta. And he passed away. But he had a lot of conversations with Prabhupada about science and Krishna consciousness, Krishna bhakti. And there was a book, Scientific Basis of Krishna Consciousness. I was sitting with Prabhupada in Bombay in 1974, and he was showing this book. My disciple is a scientist, and he wrote this book. And then there's another book, I don't know if you've seen it, Life Comes from Life. Who has seen that book? 1, 2. That's all. Prabhuji should keep that book here. So that book is a discussion about, what is the basis of life? Modern scientists say it's chemicals. It's just an accident. And Prabhupada, he defeated that philosophically, that argument, and convinced a lot of people. Life comes from life. Life doesn't come from... And the scientists, they couldn't, Yesterday night I went to a certain doctor's house. Oh, you're here. And his son is studying physics in the university. And I asked him about it. There's a professor here at Stanford. He's my age, so he's like retired, but adjunct, they call it. He comes sometimes. And then what's the use of that, PhD and professor and this and that? And until now, no scientist has created life in the laboratory, is it? Oh, we will do it in the future. So that's a post-dated check, right? I will buy this from you, but here's a check for 5 years from now for $500. You won't take it. What's the use of that check? So the mystery of life and death, science cannot answer. Or they can prolong life for, medical science, modern medicine, sure. They're prolonging life for what? 10 years, 15 years? Most of the people, mostly, we know somebody, I won't mention a name. So he had a massive stroke, one of our senior ISKCON leaders. And now he had a multiple organ transplant in Chennai. And now the kidney has failed, the transplanted kidney. It worked for some years. Now he's on dialysis. Now, how many years can you pull on dialysis? Well, some people, you can answer. right? You're a doctor. How many years can you go on dialysis? You didn't study that? Several years. Best case scenario, right? Best case scenario. Some people I heard go for like 10 years. It's possible. But ultimately, the body has to die. Some people live 110 years, 120, few, very few. One of the famous actors, you know these Western actors, Michael Douglas, right? You heard his name? His father was famous Kirk Douglas. So he lived to 103. 103. Was in a wheelchair. He completed 103, because in India we say 104. So, yeah, John F. Kennedy, you heard of his name. He was assassinated. I was 8 years old. The school was, we were announced president was shot. They sent everybody home. His mother lived for 102 years also. 104 years, sorry, 104. Rose Kennedy, 104 years. So even if you live 104 years, you have to give up this body. So what is the purpose of human life? So Vedic culture has a concept, what is human life about? And part of that is respect for Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava. So Go Mata is just like your mother. Mata Sadrisham, same as mother. Then how can you eat the meat of the cow? If cow is mother. There is one species of Hindus that give their parents to the animals. Who are they? Can you answer? Young man should know this, they teach in school. No? The Eskimos. You heard of the Eskimos? So when the parents get old, they put them outside because they live in an igloo is a structure made of only ice. And they wear skins of bears to keep warm. They're ignorant fools, otherwise they should come to a warm place. Why should you live in such cold? They're very few. But the parents they give to the bears, so they're tribals. They're uncivilized people. In Vedic civilization, Go Raksha was a pillar, protect the cows. So, Hare Krishna. I don't know how long I was speaking for. Let's see the time. It's 11:40. We have a 12 o'clock engagement, so we have 20 minutes. Questions? Yes. I think there's another mic. Well, no, it's better to take the mic, then it's clear. Sorry, but it's there. Right. Thank you. Yeah. No. Please take the mic so we can all, I'm here clearly. It's okay.
So,
take the mic, turn it this way, yeah. No. Yeah.
So, one question. You talked about various paths, not paths, I think different gurus we have in Vaishnava, right. Ramanujacharya. I think he taught Dvaitam and Vishishtadvaitam. And there are Madhvacharya, I think, Dvaitam. Yeah. And there is also Advaitam, Sankaracharya.
Right, Adi Shankara.
Yeah. So, in terms of like ISKCON basic fundamentals, so at some point, is it actually leading to Advaita? So is this a path somewhere it actually ends in Advaita, or just that question?
It's a very good question. Somebody should take that outside. Not you. Get me? Because it's going to disturb everybody. Yeah, it should go out. No, don't close that. No, that'll make it worse, actually. No, it shouldn't be so hot, I think. Is it very hot? Sorry for this disturbance, but very good question he asked. Right, yeah, just put there. Right. Now it'll go out. So I'm waiting for you to come before I answer. Another question. Right. So, you see, first thing, the word Hindu means those who follow Vedas. Jains and Buddhists are not Hindu in that sense. But now Vishwa Hindu Parishad, wants to be all embracing, right? But Jainas and Buddhists, they reject Vedas, right? Accepted? Now, 6 philosophies came out of Vedas. Purva Mimamsa, you've heard of Purva Mimamsa? No? Shad Darshanas, 6 philosophies. So Purva Mimamsa is the first one. And Atato Dharma Jignasa. What is Dharma? Varnashram Dharma. That's all. Jaimini wrote Purva Mimamsa Sutras, which they just say Mimamsa Sutras. And he propagated Varnashram. Okay, number 1. Number 2, there's Nyaya Sutras of Gautama. Pramana, Prameya, Samshaya, Prayojana, Drishtanta, Siddhanta, Avayavata. And that's the first sutra of the Nyaya Sutras. So you have Purva Mimamsa, Nyaya, Sheshika Sutras. Then you have Sankhya Sutras. Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, 5. And then you have Vedanta. Uttara Mimamsa. Mimamsa means inquiry. So the final inquiry, Vedanta means the end of the Vedas, but Vedanta also means the Upanishads. So if you take all 108 Upanishads together, you have Vedanta. All 6 follow Vedas. They accept Vedas as authority. In Vedanta, Uttara Mimamsa, Adi Shankara, first Badarayana, Vyasdev, wrote Brahma Sutras, Vedanta Sutras. What are Vedanta Sutras? Synopsis of Upanishads in a sutra form. We say Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuranam is a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutras. But there are also commentaries by Acharyas, and Adi Shankara wrote the first commentary called Shariraka. And after Adi Shankara, there's Ramanuja, Madhva, and the others, Vishnu Swami and Nimbarkacharya, and Vallabhacharya wrote. Madhva wrote 3 bhashyas, and our Baladev, he wrote. In a nutshell, Adi Shankara says Atma merges into Paramatma. That's what he says. You worship Devi Devatas Panchopasana. They propagated this Panchopasana. Vishnu, Surya, Shiva, Ganesh and Durga Devi. But Ramanujacharya, he didn't accept it. He said that Vishishta Advaita, the one Advaita means one non-different, but there are special qualities in Advaita. So what is that? Actually then Madhva said, no, it's Dvaita. There's Atma and Paramatma. Upanishads say this. Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam. Nityaha, one eternal, Nityanam, of that eternal. Chaitana, Chaitananam. So there is one conscious Paramatma, Parameshwar, and Jivatmas. So in Gita, when Gita was accepted by Adi Shankara, Prasthana Trayi, he called his Prasthana Trayi, one was Gita. Mamai Vangsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. Mama Eva Angshaha. The Jivas are my parts. Right? Part cannot become the whole. Part cannot become the whole. Like this microphone is made up of, or a jet engine. When they open the jet engine, you can see on, YouTube or Wikipedia or whatever. There are thousands of parts. But you take out one part, it's not a jet engine. It's a part of a jet engine. But Purnamadav Purnabhinam Purnat Purnamudachyate. 1 minus 1 equals 1. In other words, we believe in Ishvara. Ishabhasyam idam sarvam. Then we are not that Ishvara. We are a part of Ishvara. So that's the comparison. There's a jet engine. One part, it doesn't make the engine. We are a part of Ishvara. We don't become Ishvara. But Adi Shankara made this type of philosophy. You become Ishvara. I am God, you are God, we're all God. You don't know you're God. I don't want to tell you who said that. You heard that before, right? Some Baba said that. Baba means father. In North India, when they say Baba, they give a respect. We have also in our Sampradaya, Babaji. Babaji is not in Sanskrit. Sanskritam nasti. Boli bhasha. Samanya jananam Tadrisha bhasha, Tadrisha shabda prayoga kurvanti. Samskrita bhashayam Babaji nasti. Pitri charanaha, Pitaha, Matri charanaha, Mata. Adharartham aneke shabda prayoga kurvanti Samskrita bhashayam. Anyway, this basic idea is like this. You can believe if you want that a part of a jet engine will become a jet engine. Doesn't make logical sense. But thousands and thousands of people accept it. And thousands of people are killing cows and eating cows. So, does it make it right? Might makes right. You've heard that expression. This country is the most powerful militarily. And so, relative peace. Actually, there's a lot of violence here. Drug addicts are killing drug addicts, or drug business. You have nothing to do with it, so your whole life goes peacefully. You don't go in those areas. You know they exist. You can't go in the daytime. I'm from Chicago, right? I grew up in Evanston, joined the ISKCON in Evanston, and I went to India when I was 18. 50 years have passed. Same place you still can't go. When I was a child, don't go there. Still you cannot go there. Because a bullet might, like Trump had a bullet hit his ear. If you go there in Chicago, there are 3 police precincts where it's like constant warfare. You know, it's like Gaza Strip. Yeah, but there are gangs of young African Americans. And they take intoxication, they sell it, and they're quarreling with each other. And they're killing each other left, right, and center. The numbers are not the same as Gaza or wherever there's a conflict. Like in Russia now, it's been going for 2.5 years fighting. It's Kali Yuga. So yeah, Dvaita philosophy, we are achintya bheda bhed. Simultaneously one and different. I mean, we have the Atma has the qualities of God, but it is not God. Ishvara. So that is not the body, that's inside the body, Chaitanya. Now when the body dies, Chaitanya goes somewhere else. But it is a mystery. But Gita says like that, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityor, one who is born, he has to die. Everybody knows that. But dhruvam janma mritasya cha, for one who dies, birth is certain. So where are you born? So, according to Vedic literature, you know, if you do punya, you go to Swargaloka. And if you do bhakti, You can go, yad natat bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pagbakaha. Gita says, Surya is not there, Chandra is not there. Yad gatva nanivartante tadhama paramam mama. One who goes there, he doesn't come back. We have a 12 o'clock appointment, Prabhu. 12 o'clock appointment. What to do? No, he's not the one. He's another one. We have to go there to meet him, looks like. I don't know, he should have sent me a message. वो phone लेके आओ ना, दूसरे phone. एक phone है मेरे पास. धर्म पत्नी, अर्धांगिनी, हिंदी संस्कृत भाषायाम, सहधर्मचारिणी. So yeah, we have a 12 o'clock, but looks like it's IST, Indian Stretchable Time. Indian Stretchable. So is that a satisfactory answer? I mean, people spend their years and years and years studying difficult Sanskrit, texts of Advaita, because Adi Shankara has his Bhasha, and then there's Bhasha, and then there's, opposing Bhashas, right? Shatadhushani, Shatabhushani, 100 objections, 1,000 objections. So, studying all those books, we don't do it. Years that they will spend studying only Adi Shankara's whole life will go in that. Or Ramanuja's, or, they're good scholars on both sides. But the basic concept is, we say you do bhakti. So by engaging in bhakti, you can get yad gatvana nivartante, tadama paramamama. There's other shlokas in Gita. Bhajatam priti purvakab dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupai. I'm forgetting the first part of that at the moment. Bhajatam priti purvakam. If you worship me with affection, dadami buddhi yogam. I give you intelligence by which you can come to me. Yena mamupayanti te, by which you can attain me. Tesham satata yuktanam, those who are always engaged, bhajatam priti purvakam, with affection. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam, dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. So coming to him means Ishvara, Atma and Paramatma. So the idea that we are Ishvara, we don't think it's logical. Because why should Ishvara have to suffer like an ordinary human being? There should be a difference between Atma and Paramatma. But Adi Shankara, basically it's a Buddhist ideology, but based on Vedas. Because Buddhists say there's no Paramatma. Buddhism and Jainism, there's no Ishvara. Anishwar body, shunya bodies, yeah. So if there's no Ishvara, then you have to, their idea is karma siddhanta, that you have to make good karmas, destroy the bad karmas, papas, and then you can enter nirvanam. Brahma nirvanam is mentioned in Gita. So there are different understandings of that word. They think it's an impersonal void and there's nothing. And we say Brahma Nirvanam, there's another Tadhama Paramam Mama, there's another Dhamma, there's another planet. We cannot see it with these eyes. There may be many planets. Why should this be the only planet? Doesn't make sense. Because if this planet can exist with so many varieties of life forms, then there may be another planet there. So people speculate. They're looking for aliens to come from another planet in a mechanical ship. But there are different types of bodies. There are different types of bodies. think I didn't get a phone call, or did I turn off the sound? Sound is on. It's 12 o'clock. There's another question? Oh, I answered that? 1 minute. I'm looking for a text message, which would have already come. Oh. He said 12:15 he'll be at Livermore. I got a late start. I see the Goshala is only 10 minutes away. I can come by, or if you like to go right away, I'll wait for you at the airport. I don't want to go in an airplane with food in my stomach. Because you never know, you might. Because a small plane we're supposed to be taking now. Someone got a pilot's license. Young guy is 27. So he doesn't have his own plane, he rents. He's single, and he's working for Airbus. He did a Bachelor in Aeronautical Engineering. So this is his passion. It helps when your father is Dhanadevata. So what to do, Prabhu? You want to eat and go? Because if you go up and then you feel, oh, this is, because it's not a commercial jet, right? It's a different feeling. Yeah, it's not a commercial jet. Actually, no. He wanted to give us a tour of the Bay Area. 10 minutes is your children and your wife. Maybe they can go up first. And then he said he would show us the Bay Area, so that would be half an hour, 45 minutes. I don't know exactly. Aerial tour. No, we're not traveling in that plane. Yeah, it's just yeah. No, I remember on the internet, you know, because I also browse the internet, and there was a YouTube, or I can't remember, somebody bought, a guy who's a cameraman in the movies. They're not multimillionaires. So what he did, he bought an old plane for $30,000. He totally stripped out, he took the engine, got it redone. Then he put new seats, he put new avionics. You know, now they have modern, what's that company that used to make those GPS? Garmin. They have all these avionic equipment for the plane. Radar and all. He did this, and you know, he said, I take my family on a vacation in the plane. Instead of driving a car for 10 hours, you know, you fly for an hour or two and you're, well, halfway across the country. But you have to have, have to be a pilot. You know, the plane should be in good, we know somebody who died in a small plane 30 years ago. Long story. Plane wasn't properly maintained. This was the story, you know. I never saw a report, you know, I just heard it. Wow, how did it happen? So yeah, you have to have properly maintained airplane and a proper avionics, and the weather should be good, and looks like there's a clear sky. This just happened by coincidence. We know him, and he'll take you up. He's actually flying from Palo Alto to Livermore in the plane. So he got a license, means he already practiced, right? But then there are more licenses if you want to fly bigger planes. The single engine plane. I went as a child in a small plane from Chicago to the Mississippi River. So this is before I joined ISKCON. And we went on a boat on the river, and we got back in the plane, and when we were taking off, we almost hit the hill. Somehow he got it. So one devotee who's like not much younger than I am, his father was a pilot. His father expired in England. And his father told him that flying is 95% boredom and 5% danger. 95% boredom. And especially the more advanced the plane that they have autopilot. So, you know, you have to sit there and make sure everything is going. But there's another, they have in these big planes a crew rest area. So one pilot will go and lie down and go to sleep. Or the service crew on those big flights, they take shifts taking rest. They have an area where there are bunks. But for the passengers, they don't have that. Somehow, you know, it should become like the sleeper bus in India, right? Now it's very common sleeper bus. But the flight, this long flight to India, you have to sit like a sardine, you know, unless you're very rich. Or you got a free upgrade or something. But free upgrade is once in a blue moon, you know. Right. So the time is up. Go Mata ki jai, Varnashram Dharma ki jai, Veda Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Blessings for everybody. Arogyam, Aishwaryam, Dirghayusham, Veda Vidya, Bhagavad Bhakti.
Adopting a cow.
Oh, very good.
They are all long relatives.
Is it?
Yeah, they are from my home, near my home.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
He's initiated by Mukunda Maharaj. And his parents are also.
Welcome. Oh, really?
Last night we went.
Oh. Prabhu, you decide you take you didn't eat anything, just have like sambar and soup.
I think when I come back,
Oh, it will take time, Prabhu, because
Myanmar is.
no, we need to go far, take a flight, it will go 45 minutes.
For me, there's no problem. You all eat.
Oh,
I'll come back and eat.
sure. You want something?
I had some blueberries actually. I had some. Banana isn't going to be good for me yet, but I got some glucose. Figs is good.
Then Mataji will change.
There's figs.
తీసుకువెళ్తాను ఇంటికి.
క్లాస్ కల్చర్
అదే
ఆ కల్చరే ఫాలో చేసి వాళ్ళకి వడ్డించే సో ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ ప్లీజ్ కమ్ ఆఫ్టర్ మాతాజీ ఇల్లాకి ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಕಾರ್ಪೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡ ರೇಡ್ ಇದೆನಾ ಹಾಂ ಅದು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್
ಇವಾಗ ಸರ್
ಹಾಂ ಮಾಡು ಮಾಡು
కూర్చొని పెట్టాలని
మొన్న ಈಗ పెట్టారు
అదే వేక్ష
వెయిట్ ఇక కొంచెమే తినండి కూర్చోండి లక్ష్మణ్ ఈ పక్క కూర్చో కూర్చో మాతాజీ రైట్